need something? It's about time. There's been too much confusion around this fire. It must be stamped out. Harold Bailey himself, I suspect. Or maybe his father. I doubt he would have gotten any of his boys to do it. Who else would do it? If you have any evidence to the contrary, then fair enough. I'll put a sock in it. But I don't know anyone else with a motive. While I'm certainly not shy about making their involvement in the fire known, I think they're good people at heart. They're just stubborn. They know that land is ours. We moved into the area and claimed it weeks before they even arrived. And they think just because they helped build this place that we owed them. They received banquets of food in return. More than fair. This was the early days of Camelot, nearly 8 years ago. They could have starved without our generosity. I was preparing dinner for my family. I'll do a terrific venison stew. Here, have a can. Very well. I'm not sure. I'll be honest, what my brother did was regrettable. John and the boy weren't part of this feud, or at least they shouldn't have been. Being knights of Camelot, they live, or lived, at the castle. Seems they had a feud of their own after the fire. A microcosm of conflict. It's unfortunate it escalated. I almost lost my Mary last year to illness. I can't imagine the pain Harold must be going through. Whatever he did, no one deserves that. I'm Edward Fletcher, hunter by trade. Me and my family packed up shop and came to Albion 7 years ago, from Brumley. Back there, we had to fend for ourselves. But here, we're protected. We can hunt in peace. It's a good living, and we're good at it. Me and my brother come from a long line of huntsmen. Our father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all stalked the wastes. And I hope my descendants will do the same. Mary, me oldest, continues the tradition. Sarah, my youngest, can't stand it. Says it's cruel. Each to their own, I guess. Wouldn't say we need help, but if you ever fancy picking up a spear, I'd pay you well for any game you bring us. Let's have a look then.
Hello there. Good. The truth about this fire will prove our innocence. The Fletchers. I don't have any evidence, but I know it was them. That may not be good enough for the Round Table, but it's good enough for me. They're criminals. They were nice enough at first. We even helped build that treehouse of theirs, quickly revealed their true colors. That land is rightfully ours. It's on our side of the walkway. Stopping our field at some arbitrary line is ridiculous. They have the entire woods to hunt in. Do you know how much additional manpower it takes to haul wood long distance? I used to think they were just stubborn. Now I know it's something more malicious. After what they did to my son, I'll never forgive them. Listening to the radio. I always tune into Nigel's show in the evenings. I'd almost drifted off in my chair when the smoke got me up. I thought the whole forest was gonna burn down. We managed to stop the spread with the water from the pond. Of course he does. Look, I know this fire doesn't look good for us. It mostly being their land. But I promise you, it wasn't us. The Fletchers are conniving. They know if we ever did something like that, we'd face sanctions. Most likely, they'd get their half of the land back. No worries. I didn't lose my son. He was taken from me. That whoreson, John Fletcher, murdered him. He can call it a duel all he wants. Fletcher knew my son wouldn't refuse. Thomas would have done anything to defend our family. Worst of all, Fletcher knew he'd win. He's a trained killer since birth. It was murder. Murder hiding behind the notion of honor. John Fletcher is a bitter old man to rob my son of the rest of his life. Someone with a good sword hand should give him what for. I should try myself. I want to tear his guts out with my bare hands. But all I can do is swing this axe. And my sons already lost their brother. We have too many workers for the little land we have. But we'll buy any wood you can spare. See you around.
How goes the investigation? Go on. Really? I guess Harold was right about them. Your evidence? Even if the alibi is verifiable, it doesn't prove the Fletchers did it. I need something more concrete. How goes the investigation? Leave no stone unturned. How goes the investigation? Go on. Really? That surely...
In this line of work, the only way you see your golden years is if you start thinking everyone's looking to put you 6 feet under.
How'd you do? Then what are you doing here? It's the Baileys you should be questioning. I'm Damien. I'm a hunter by trade. My dad and my uncle taught me everything I know. Now I also help my mum out with her work while Dad's busy with his nightly duties. Goodbye.
Why didn't God give Radstags 2 bodies instead of 2 heads? That's the bit we don't eat. Oh, sure. I bet it was the Baileys. They most likely discovered fire for the first time in their lineage and got carried away. I'm Mary, Camelot's greatest huntress. I've perfected the art. My cousin Damien's pretty good, I don't doubt it. But I'm the best there is. Don't be a stranger. Hello, hello. I bet it was the Baileys. They most... Don't be a stranger.
Hey. Those Baileys couldn't stand to leave a nice woods be. They had to chop it all down for the sake of materialistic things like chairs. They didn't get their way, so they burnt it down. I'm Sarah. The rest of my family are hunters, but I know better. Later.
What's up? I see. Be careful out there. The Baileys are loose cannons. I'm a seamstress. Have been all my life. Take care.
How'd you do?